Alrighty, so I am here with the Boogie Knight. This is the first time I'm going to, or I have him in the car. And when I have dogs in the car, as usual, I want them to lay down, not be standing up, climbing around, anything like that. It's all for a safety issue, and it could cause a lot of trouble. I've heard different things happen with different people with their dogs running loose in their car. So I do want him to down, but I'm not going to be yelling at him or anything like that. We have been doing some e-collar downs, and hopefully he'll understand or he'll catch on. It's going to take him a little bit because it's a whole new situation, and I'm not going to be telling him what to do. But hopefully he'll figure out that how he gets rid of the stimulation, that uneasy feeling, is to figure out what he needs to do to get rid of it. And so right here, I'm going to start giving him e-collar stimulation, and he laid down before I actually did anything. So he's already in the down, so I'm going to go ahead and see what happens here. He's probably going to jump up as soon as we get out in the street and stuff. We'll see how it goes. He may just lay there. I don't know. Might be one of those good little guys. We'll see. So we'll back out. Yep. So usually right there on that first bump coming down out of the driveway, all the dogs stand up. So it looks like there he laid back down. What I was going to say was it looks like he's a little bit uneasy about standing up and filling the bumps and moving around, but there he goes. He's up. Proves me wrong every time. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to start giving him stimulation like I was going to do there in the driveway. It would have been a little bit better there for him, since we're not moving, creating more excitement, more distractions that he wants to be up for and he wants to see and check things out. But there he goes again, laid back down, and I still have not given him any stimulation. I'm too busy talking because I want to pay attention to what I'm doing. But we'll see how he goes here. Right? He's back up, so he keeps getting up anyway, and even that is kind of annoying. So right now I'm going to start giving him stimulation right away, and we'll see what he's going to do, if he's going to figure it out. So there he laid down and the stimulation went away. And now hopefully he'll start connecting those two things. Oh, if I get up, I feel this uneasiness, and the only way for me to get rid of it is to lay down. And so he lays down and the stimulation goes away, and I'm happy and he's happy. So we'll see how long this lasts. We hit a little bit of a dip in the road here when we turn. So this usually gets the dogs up too. Yep, and there he goes. He's up. So I'm going to go right back on the stimulation. He's down. I didn't have to do it much there. As long as I can tell that he's down here. Looks like he is. He's a little short laying there anyway. We'll see. He might adjust himself and get a little bit more comfortable. Oh, he decided I'll just get up and get comfortable that way. So I'm going to go back on with the stimulation. Down, and the stimulation is off. So I'm just putting around the neighborhood here through the back streets here, because I don't want to be out on the main drags trying to do this. So he's going to learn here. So right now, he's doing this. He's getting it, so I'm going to let it ride there for a bit, but much longer, and he's still getting up and down, I will dial up a bit. This is his first time, so I want him to kind of learn before before anything. So here he goes. Let's see what he's doing. It's kind of difficult on the phone and the light and everything here. So I'm going to go up right away. I'm going to start going up. There I went up one level. We'll see what he does. Now he's like, oh boy. Yep, this again. We'll see what he does. He's not gonna get it. So I'm actually going to go up one more level. We'll see if he figures it out. I can stop here, see if he gets it. So, not getting it. So I'm going to go up a little bit higher. And I'll go up until I get him to lay down, just like he did there. So I actually went up a little bit farther than I thought I was going to be. And now he's right back up, so I'm going to go right back on. And what I was going to say there is I did go up a little bit farther than I thought I was going to have to, because he does, pretty good. And again, that's the same thing. I hear that story overall all the time. My dog's so good in the house. Well, yeah, they should be. So in the house, 4 seems to work fairly well on him. So right here, that's where I started. And now, at this point, I am up to level 8. So I'm going to go up again because he is kind of holding out, resisting. I want him to know and understand and figure out that what he needs to do is to lay down and stay there. Stay in the down position. Don't be getting up and down all the time. So he's holding on tight. He's going to be a little stubborn about it probably. Pay attention to the cars coming by here. And there he goes down. So as soon as he laid down, I took the stimulation away, because that's what we want him to know. Oh, this kind of sucks being up, walking around in the car. Yes, it does. But if you lay down, it gets better. So he's not really putting it together yet that, oh, I should just lay here. But he will. It may take a little bit of time. There's no instantaneous thing, no magic, no nothing like that. It's just doing what you need to do, being consistent, and having him go by, figuring out what he needs to do to get rid of the stimulation from the collar. And so there we are. Now I'm at 9. And this collar does go to 100. So he's a long ways away from topping out, which if I had to top out in this kind of situation, there's something else wrong. Something else isn't right. I need to look at that, check that out. Not correct him at higher levels. Trying to pay attention here. I guess I gotta adjust this temperature for him. Get him down here a little bit so that he can start cooling off. Might get a little warm in the car here. It's not that warm out today. 50 something, little 50. So I didn't have the air on, but I better turn it on here. Cool him off. Keep him from getting too hot. So now he's staying down and he's riding along. We'll see how much longer he's going to do it. And we had to stop. The car coming by. Until that one's out of the way, and we're going to move on. And that's exactly what I want him to do. And when he's doing good, obviously, I'm not giving him any stimulation. And, you don't hear me, praising him, telling him, oh, good boy, and yeah, all that, because what that could do possibly is cause him excitement, and he's going to jump up, and then I got to correct him for it, for getting up, and I needed him to go back down. So I'll just, every time he lays down, the stimulation goes away, and then that's how he figures out, oh, okay, this is good. This is what I should be doing, right? Got to remember the word good, the sound of good, it's just the sound, and it's really our body actions and our tones and things like that that are meaningful to the dog, not just the sound. It marks, the end of something, but, really has no emotional value but it ends up being that way because of how we act. Good boy, good girl, and we get all excited. So the dogs connect that together. So I'm going to run around this neighborhood here one more time. He seems to be hanging out, doing fairly well. I'm sure if I stop for a period of time, pull in the driveway, anything like that, or one thing that's always kind of always gets the dogs going is these guys on motorcycles that come right up to the back of the car or right alongside of it, and they're like 2 feet away, and that causes the dogs to get up. Sometimes it causes the dogs to bark, but it doesn't matter. The dog still needs to lay down. If I want him to do that, I'll let him do that. I'll have them do that. But otherwise, no, just lay down, be good. It's bad enough we got other stupid things going on. You don't have to add to the mix. Just be good. So he's doing all right now. I'm gonna stop here. Let's see what he does. Sit here a second or two. Seems all right. So we're gonna move on. Good. That was good of him, huh? Yeah. So now if I start going, good, boogie and all that, it could very well. There we go. Just that little bit, He's just gonna move around, maybe get a little more comfortable. Stimulation on and down. So you got to kind of watch a lot of times what you're doing with your dog, or the things you are doing. Are they helping, or are they hurting? Or are they, interfering with what you're trying to accomplish? And a lot of people just don't realize it until it's kind of pointed out to them, and then they're like, oh. And then, I'm not saying that, you can't be excited or anything about your dog. But when you're trying to train them, you want to make it as possible and as easy as you can for your dog. You don't want them to really struggle to learn. You want to help them out. But then on the other side of that, you don't really want to be spoon feeding your dog a lot either, because that will cause issues also. And I see that a lot, especially in these classes we teach for an obedience club. We see a lot of people that they just kind of constantly are treating the dogs, constantly touching, talking, petting the dog, and their dogs are just like antsy and they're all over the place. And I try to explain to them that, that's a lot of your problem, Use the treat sparingly. You don't have to treat every time. Treat every other time, every third time. Whatever. Work it out so you don't have to treat at all. We go to work, we do our jobs. We don't get rewarded and a paycheck every day, every time we do something. You finish that chart or whatever. Oh, here's $50. No, that doesn't happen. We do things, and then we finally get something at the end. So that's the point we want to get the dogs to, is that they understand. Oh, I'm not going to be rewarded constantly. Yes, it was just to get you learning and stuff, but your reward is earning freedom. Being able to do things. A lot of other dogs that go through the process of what this dog's going through, get. We know a lot of people that, they can't even walk their dogs. Can't even take them out of the house because the dogs just go absolutely berserk. And so it's not fun for them. It's not comfortable. They love their dog. They're not going to give their dog up. So they just deal with it. They kind of become a prisoner of their dog. But everybody does their own thing. Everybody does whatever they're going to do for themselves and for their dog. And that's how it goes, right? Another thing about all that stuff, too, is like, I didn't tell Boogie to be down, and he doesn't really know I want him to down in the car. Does he understand the down command somewhat? Yeah, somewhat. But does he understand it in the car? No, he does not. So I don't want to be yelling a bunch of things at him, telling him what to do when he's going like, what the heck? It can actually add, a lot of nonsense, a lot of issues to what you're trying to accomplish with your dog. We have someone in our class that she won't put any pressure, she won't guide her dog, she won't do anything to help her dog out. She just wants to use these treats, try to lure, all this stuff all the time. And we'll have the dogs do sits, and to get one sit, she tells this dog, this is no joke, it's between 15 to 20 times, telling the dog, sit, come on now, sit. And it goes on and on and on. And then the dog never really ends up sitting. And if it does, it touches its butt to the ground and jumps right back up. And that goes to, one, the lady, the dog has the idea, obviously. It shows that. But there's no reinforcement behind it to let the dog know, hey, when I ask this of you, you really do need to do it. It could be for different reasons, safety, for, obedience, for whatever. But there's many different reasons. And your dog needs to respond to you when you want it to and when it needs to. Otherwise, it will be a struggle. And then people like that also, after so long, it's not a very old dog. It's less than a year old. And, time she gets to a year and a half, and that dog's still being the same way. A lot of times people are just going to give up on that dog. They're just going to, I'll just try another one. This dog's done. When in reality, they are just not doing what they need to do with their dog. It's like, once your dog starts learning the command, there is an accountability phase for that command with that dog. If I'm having the dog sit and the dog's not sitting, and I feel and believe that the dog knows what I want, there will be a little bit of a pop on a leash or some kind of correction. If we're on e-collar, there will be e-collar stimulation to have the dog back into the command. Like here, I want Boogie to down. So he's up, stimulation goes on. I'm actually telling him to do it through stimulation, through pressure of the e-collar, and there he goes, and he's doing it with not a lot of nonsense. And the thing is later on, this command should be pretty good. Most of the dogs, after they go through this a few days, or the time they're with us, they jump in and they just lay down. But you always get the dogs that are going to be pushy. And when the dogs leave, or like Boogie, he's up for adoption. I think he's sitting back up there. He's up for adoption again. But if the new owner doesn't follow through and just puts him in the car and allows him to jump all over right away and do as he pleases, he's going to do as he pleases. And he's going to teach that person, those humans, how he wants to be in the car, not how you want him to be. So he's real antsy here, which it seems like quite a bit to me for today, even though it is his first time, and I don't know, we've probably only been out about 20 minutes maybe. But this will get better and better, and just like I said, he'll get to the point where he jumps in and lays down. When I take my dogs out, I a lot of times take all 6 of them, and they get in, they josh around trying to get their positioning, and I just tell them down, and pretty much they all down except my older dog. She kind of likes to ignore me and sit up, but she's going on 13 years of age. She's had enough of listening to me, so she's kind of doing her own thing a lot. But if I wanted her to lay down, I can just tell her verbally and somewhat of a stern voice, and she does lay down. But if she's sitting up, I don't really get too crazy about it. You always got to pick what you want to do with your dog. You know, what battle do you want to fight with your dog? And one like that, older dog, whatever. Now, if she was still younger, like, you know, my other dogs, you know, they're a few years younger than her, and some of them way younger. Yeah, they're going to do what they need to do. They all laying down, and she's sitting up, and, you know, they all kind of wonder. And a lot of people say, well, gosh, I got one dog that has to do this, and my other dog or other dogs get to roam around and do whatever. Yeah, that's how it goes. If you had more than one child, you know, they're all going to be different ages, unless you had a whole bunch of at once, quadrupeds or something. Then they're all going to have different privileges, different allowances because of age and because of knowledge and because they will do what needs to be done, hopefully, when it is asked of them. There we go. So he got back up again, and a couple of times there I was yakking. Right back up, so I'm right back on the collar. So I'm up to 10 now, and he's getting a little bit better, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and go up another level because I'm kind of chasing that now a little bit. So I want to kind of stop it. I don't want to get up and down, up and down, up and down. I want to play this yo-yo game with him. It's like, dude, you need to lay down and just hang out. So I've dialed up a bit. We're going to see what he does here. Obviously doesn't like it. He's gonna figure out, oh boy, gotta lay down or something here still. And there he goes, and now that goes away. So I dialed up just a couple. It's not all that high. I'm at 12, it looks like. He's doing good. Again, it's okay for the first time, but he is doing the yo-yo game a little bit more than I would like, and some of it has to do with paying attention, not paying attention, and I'm yakking. So there's a bump. There he got up, and I'm going right on. I got to try to catch him right as he's getting up, so that knows, so that he puts the two together. All right, so he's back up. Here. So this is why I drive around in the streets of the neighborhood, is because there's cars, not a whole lot, but they keep popping out here and there, and I got to pay attention to that. Got to pay attention to where I'm going. So it's a good idea to do it, if you're going to do something like this, to do it in an area where you don't have to practice, or you don't have to pay a bunch of attention, or have another person with you that controls the collar and the dog, and you just drive. But when you're by yourself, you make do, right? Do the best you can with what you got. So we've been out long enough here for his first time. All right, back up, boogie woogie, and then give him stimulation, and he went right back down that time. So I'm up a little bit higher again, and we're gonna end it here. I'm gonna take him back home. Get out, put him outside for a few minutes, go to the bathroom. I'm sure he has to. Oh, what's he gonna do? Get up on the ramp, lay down? Got a car coming here, so I'm gonna wait. There we go. Okay, see, he laid down up on the ramp, and that's okay. Even one of my dogs, they're a little bee-shot. As soon as she gets in the car, I throw the ramp in, and choom, she's on it. She claims that as her own. So it doesn't matter to me where they lay back there, just as long as they lay down. If I have, obviously, the seats up and they're in the rows of the seats, they got to be in that seat. They can't be climbing over one seat to get to the other. Not going to happen. They will get corrected for that and have to lay back down or do whatever we're asking of them at the time. A lot of people have their dogs like in seat belts. They're buckled in, things like that. You do what you want to do. The main go here is that I don't want my dog walking around, roaming around in the car, because that can create safety issues. And I don't want my dog loose just in case something happens, because we have heard and know of situations where people have gotten in accidents and the window breaks, the door flies open or whatever, or someone runs up and opens the door to try to help who's ever in the car, and the dog panics, choom, and jumps out of the car and runs. Now your dog is gone, you're in an accident, and a lot of other things are just plain old miserable. So try not to set yourself up for different things. So he kind of likes laying up there, it looks like. We'll go around the block here one more time, and then we're going to be back home. So he definitely seems to like being up there a little bit better, which again is okay. I don't care. Alrighty, Mr. Boogie. One thing I also like is when I get out, I don't want him to get up, but I know he's going to. I can't sit in here and get out and trick him and do all that stuff. So I'll just get out, open the door, but I will put him back into the down and have him, be calm before I allow him to come back out. And of course, I'm going to put the ramp down for him also. Oh, here we are. We're back. This is where dogs always like to jump up to. Yeah, he's hanging in there this time. All right.